The Cabbage White. The Cabbage White has brilliant white wings with small black tips to the forewings and 1 or 2 wing spots. The undersides are a creamy white. The caterpillars feed on mainly brassicas, especially cabbages, and nasturtium in gardens. To a lesser extent, they will feed on wild crucifers, wild cabbage, charlock, hedge mustard, garlic mustard, hoary cress, and wild mignonette. The cabbage white is found in a variety of habitats, but particularly gardens and allotments where cabbages are grown. The Coma. The Coma has wings with scalloped edges, and their cryptic colouring conceals hibernating adults amongst dead leaves. They're so called because their wings have a white mark on them which looks exactly like a comma. Their caterpillars feed primarily on the common nettle, but also hops, elms, currants and willows. They are mostly found in open woodland and wood edges. Prior to hibernation, they range more widely in search of nectar and rotting fruit, so may then often be seen in gardens and many other habitats. The Gatekeeper. Also known as the hedge brown, the Gatekeeper is a medium-sized orange and brown butterfly. It is easy to identify. Look out for the black spot near the wingtip that usually contains 2 tiny white dots. Its caterpillars feed on various grasses, with a preference for fine grasses such as bents, fescues and meadow grasses. Common couch is also used. As its name suggests, the Gatekeeper is often found where clumps of flowers grow in gateways and along hedgerows and field edges. The Holly Blue. The Holly Blue's wings are bright blue. Females have black wing edges. Their undersides are pale blue with small black spots, which distinguish them from the common blue. Its caterpillars feed predominantly on the flower buds, berries and terminal leaves of holly in the spring generation and ivy in the summer generation. They also use a wide range of other wild and garden plants, including spindle, dogwoods, snowberries, gorses and brambles. The holly blue is easily identified in early spring as it emerges well before other blue butterflies. It tends to fly high around bushes and trees, whereas other grassland blues usually stay near ground level. It is much the commonest blue butterfly found in parks and gardens, where it congregates around holly in spring and ivy in late summer. A common garden visitor, also seen in parks, churchyards, hedgerows and woodland rides. The Painted Lady. The Painted Lady has orange wings with black tips to the forewings that are adorned with white spots, with black spots on the hindwings and forewings. Its caterpillars feed on thistles, mallows, common nettle, viper's bugloss and various cultivated plants. The Painted Lady is a long-distance migrant and each year spreads northwards from the desert fringes of North Africa, the Middle East and Central Asia to the United Kingdom. It frequents gardens and other flowery places in late summer. It likes dry, open areas, but can be seen anywhere. The peacock. The peacock's spectacular pattern of eye spots, evolved to startle or confuse predators, make it one of the most easily recognised and best known species. It is from these wing markings, like a peacock's tail feathers, that the butterfly gained its common name. Undersides of the wings are very dark and look like dead leaves. A fairly large butterfly and a strong flyer. Its caterpillars feed on the common nettle and occasionally the small nettle and hop. The butterflies are often found on the buddleia plant. Although a familiar visitor to garden buddleias in late summer, the peacock's strong flight and nomadic instincts lead it to range widely through the countryside, often finding its preferred habitats in the shelter of woodland clearings, rides and edges. The Red Admiral. The Red Admiral has black wings with broad red stripes on the hind wings and forewings, with white spots near the tips of the forewings. Its caterpillars feed on the common nettle and also the small nettle and related species, pellitory of the wall and hops. A migratory butterfly, there are northward migrations of the Red Admiral from North Africa and continental Europe, starting each spring and continuing through the summer. The immigrant females lay eggs, and consequently there is an emergence of fresh butterflies from July onwards. They continue flying into October or November and are typically seen on garden buddleias or flowering ivy and on rotting fruit. They can be found in almost any habitat, from gardens to seashores, and from town centres to the tops of mountains. The small copper. The small copper has bright orange forewings with dark brown spots and a thick dark brown margin, and dark brown hindwings banded with orange. The small copper is usually seen in ones and twos, but in some years large numbers may be found. Males are territorial, often choosing a piece of bare ground or a stone on which to bask. They behave aggressively towards any passing insects, returning to the same spot when the chase is over. Its caterpillars feed mainly on common and sheep's sorrel, but occasionally broad-leaved dock. Occurs in a wide variety of habitats, commonly found on chalk or unimproved grassland, heathland, woodland clearings, waste ground and moorland in warm and dry conditions. The small tortoiseshell. The small tortoiseshell has reddish-orange wings with black and yellow markings on the forewings and a ring of blue spots around the edge of the wings. Its caterpillars feed on common nettle and small nettle. The butterflies themselves prefer the nectar from the buddleia bush. The small tortoiseshell is among the most well-known butterflies in the UK. The striking and attractive patterning and its appearance at almost any time of the year in urban areas have made it a familiar butterfly. It is one of the first butterflies to be seen in spring, and in the autumn it often visits garden flowers in large numbers. The speckled wood. The speckled wood has brown wings with creamy yellow spots. There is one black and white eye spot on the forewing and 3 on the hind wing. The undersides are patterned orange, yellow and brown. Its caterpillars feed on false brome, cocksfoot, Yorkshire fog and common couch. Can be found in woodland rides and glades, gardens, parks and hedgerows. It seems to prefer slightly damp areas where there is tall grass and some shade. The male usually perches in a small pool of sunlight from where it rises rapidly to intercept any intruder. Both sexes feed on honeydew in the treetops and are rarely seen feeding on flowers, except early and late in the year when aphid activity is low. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to subscribe, like and comment. For those who already have, many thanks.